Greetings, beautiful bright stars and amazing ones. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to my channel, Miss Dana Mich'elle Speaks. I am Miss Dana Mich'elle, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we are speaking about the power of now. So some friends and I, we are in a book club, and we're currently going back over a book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And it got me thinking about how the power is in the present and ways we can cultivate being more present. And so I have 3 tips that I want to share with you today. So make sure you get your pen and paper so you can take notes, and don't just take notes, actually apply them. All right, so hopefully you got your pen and paper together, or your phone, or your laptop, whatever you're doing, what works for you. So first, I want to share how when I was being certified for a Reiki practitioner, we had 5 principles that we were to say daily. And I want to share 2 of those with you. And the reason I'm sharing those is because oftentimes when we are angry, we find ourselves angry, we're usually thinking of something in the past. And when we find ourselves worrying or anxious, most times it's because we're thinking of something in the future that hasn't even happened, right? Have you heard that acronym FEAR, false evidence appearing real? So yeah, girl, it hadn't even happened yet. And yet we get all in a frenzy of, oh my goodness, what am I doing? What am I doing? But no. We want to calm that mind. We want to bring you back to the present, bring you back to now, because there is power in the present. And I want to give you those 3 tips. So the first principle that I want to share with you from that I learned during my training was, just for today, I will be free of anger. And why is that important? Because oftentimes we are allowing ourselves to go back to the past. The anger is usually from something from the past. And when we allow ourselves to go back to the past, we can't be present. You can't have it both ways. You cannot be present, fully present, and in the past. We're thinking about the past. And usually when we're thinking about the past, we know how our thoughts lead to feelings, and feelings lead to action, that whole thing. And that's another video for another time, but y'all know. And so we want to be present now. When we allow our thoughts to take us back in the past, we have to realize the past, you can do several things with the past. You can do one, or you can do several. You can release the past. You can make peace with the past. You can learn from the past. And when you learn from the past and realize that in every experience, there's also a blessing. In every experience, there's a lesson and a blessing. And sometimes the lesson is your blessing, and that's okay. Make sure you learn the lesson, and not just learn the lesson, but when you learn that lesson, you take it, and instead of regretting that, oh man, I missed it, I can't believe XYZ. No, take the lesson and then apply it moving forward so that it's not in vain, right? That experience did not go in vain. So that's for that one. Now, the second principle that we learned was, just for today, I will be free of worry. And why? Because worry, oftentimes we're worrying about something that hadn't even happened yet. We're concerned, we're putting forth all that energy, and it shows, study shows that most things that we think that we stress over about this, about that, it doesn't matter in the future. Most of the times it does not even happen. So why are we concerning ourselves with a worrying and getting ourselves all worked up? So today we're going to go over those 3 tips that will help you to be more present, right? Help you to be more present so that you can stand more in your power. So the first one is acceptance. Accepting what is without judgment and without needing for it to be different, right? When we begin to accept what is without judgment, don't need for it to be different. I don't need to shit on myself. I don't need, oh, I should have did this. I shouldn't have did this. No shitting on ourselves here, okay? When we accept that it is what it is, that begins to, for one, release overwhelm. And 2, it creates space to allow peace to come in. And what a beautiful thing, right? We can use when the mind is overwhelmed or just overthinking or what have you. That's a great time for some peace to come in. And when we begin to just accept, not just, but when we begin to accept what is and say it is what it is, we can wish all day long that it was different. We could hope, we could pray, all that stuff. Guess what? The reality is it's not going to change. It's not going to change. But you know what can change? Your attitude towards it. You get to choose whether you're going to accept it as it is, or if you're going to be ticked off because it's not the way you want it, or you're going to hold on to your expectations. In this moment, you have an opportunity to release your expectations. Yeah, I know you expected it to come out this way. You expected them not to do this. Whatever the expectation was, you have the power to release that expectation. And as you begin to release that expectation, it makes your load lighter, right? Your mind gets lighter because overwhelm is being released. Peace is coming in. And that leads me to number 2. When you begin to release that overwhelm and release those thoughts, and you get like your mind gets a lot lighter, guess what comes in? You have space now, and you have a little bit more peace. So now you have a space now for gratitude. That's number 2. When we begin to be grateful, we are shifting our focus from lack, a scarcity, from what's not there, for what didn't happen. Now we are moving it to the current moment of what we can be grateful for. And there is always something to be grateful for, always. And as you begin to write down one thing, even if it's something you just say, well, something small there's no small things. Write it down. Small things matter. Everything matters. You write down, start where you can. And you write one thing, and then you write another, or just think of another. And as you begin to focus on an attitude of gratitude, this will allow you to cultivate a more positive mindset in the moment. This will allow you to have a more optimistic mindset, which is amazing. Why? Because now it allows for you to shift the frequency. And as you begin to shift the frequency, why is that important? That is important because the problem and the solution, they are not on the same frequency. See, understand that when you are all in your mind, whenever we get all in our minds like that, and we're thinking about the problem, all we can see is the problem in front of us. We don't have access to the solution at that time. Whereas they're on 2 different frequencies. But when we begin to shift our mind and we begin to release and make space for peace and begin to get more grateful, now we can allow for a more positive mindset. Now our energy can shift. And as our energy shifts from within, it begins to shift things from without, because now we have access to more solutions, right? Now I can get more of a solution. Now I can have access to more solutions. So as I begin to do that, it shifts me to the 3rd one, which is take the next best step. The next best right step for your situation, right? Because now, since you have released, we come now to gratitude, and we cultivate a more positive mindset and more optimistic mindset, and then release and shifting the energy and shifting frequencies. Now it has allowed for me to look for solutions. And as I do so, when I take the next best right step for me, what I'm doing and what you're doing, we're empowering ourselves so that, what, I can take action. And it doesn't matter how small it is. Doesn't matter. There's always something we can do in our situation, always. And no matter how small it is, we can take that next right step for us. And as we do so, we empower ourselves. See, we are acting intentionally when we're choosing from that place of power instead of reacting emotionally. See, we get to choose how we're going to engage our emotions. We get to choose on how we're going to allow our thoughts to affect us. We get to choose it all, but it comes from a place of power, of being present. See, when we're not fully present, we don't have access to that. Our mind is usually running, or thinking this, or focused on something that we probably shouldn't be focused on, right? And it's probably not leading us to the best place at all. But when we begin to be fully present, This allows us to stand in our power and to choose how we want to respond. Because that's always our power, right? The power is always in our response, not the challenge. And that's a whole nother video. And matter of fact, maybe that's going to be the next video. We'll talk about that more in the next video, how the power is in your response, not the challenge. And when we become more present, we have access to our power. So we want to be fully present. So those are the 3 tips to help you do so. So the first one is acceptance. Second is gratitude. The third one is taking the next best step for you and your situation. All right. So as you go into your day or into your evening, whenever this finds you, make a conscious choice to bring your awareness into the now. Be fully present. Breathe deeply. Feel fully. Where are you in this moment? Are you being present? Bring your attention to the now and see what are you noticing? What are you noticing, whether it's in your environment, whether it's in your body, wherever, what are you noticing in this moment? Bring your attention to the now. And as you do so, remember that in the present, when we are fully present, it offers us a canvas that endless possibilities when we are fully present, that we don't have access to when we are kind of closed-minded and shut down by our emotions or what have you. All right. So that is my time. I thank you so very much for yours. Thanks for joining me. And if you have enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And also, if you know someone who could use this information, go ahead and share this with them. Share this with them, send them the link, and also share your thoughts in the comments below. I love to read them. That's my time. I thank you for yours. And remember, past is gone. The future has not happened. What we have is the present. Let's unwrap it and enjoy that gift, because the present is where the power is. You hold the power. I love you. I mean it. See you in the next video. Mwah.